All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am doing good for this Tuesday. It's a little cold for a Tuesday in June here. Is it summer or what? What's going on? I don't.
I know. It's chilly here too, man. As low as 60, which is a little on the cooler side, but yeah, we're feeling it here too. I'm sure up there's more cold than down here. It usually is, right? Usually much cooler up there. So, yeah. I'll tell you what does look like summer is this trading we're getting, man. Very, very choppy in a lot of places. So we've been feeling some of that summer style of trading where things are not moving like they were just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right, Peter? You're seeing like slow down in things. So it requires a little bit more patience from our part as intraday traders. And you can even tell our U.S. economic calendar coming up, very light. Not a whole lot going on until tomorrow.
Yeah.
So go there first.
I mean, typically the volume dies off in the summer. Maybe if the weather stays cold, traders will come back from the Hamptons and decide to get back into their offices in Wall Street and trade something. It's maybe we'll get more volume. I don't know. I got to try and find an upside here because it's you're right. It's been relatively slow. That being said, there have been pockets of interest. I was impressed yesterday that Nvidia managed to stay green. So after its 10-for-1 split, it had a decent day yesterday, and up and down and a little bit. It was tradable, and it gave some opportunity. And my buddy AMD was moving as well. But other than that, yeah, it was relatively slow. So, and you're going to see that today. We can talk about the calendar if we want to jump right in there. Not that there's much to talk about. At 6 a.m., we had the small business optimism that came out, I mean, it was higher than expected. So it's a relative scale, right? So the forecast was 89.8. The actual came out at 90.5. I don't quite know how that scale works, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. The market doesn't usually care about small businesses and how optimistic they are, but I guess that's good to see that they're a little bit optimistic on the economy. And I'm stretching here, like at 1 o'clock, the 10-year note auction. There are like, bond and note auctions all the time. I don't normally put them on here, but I had nothing else to write down, so I thought I'd write it in case you cared. But there you go. If you care, you can buy yourself some 10-year government notes at 1 o'clock. If you are buying those, what are you doing here? Because you got a ton of money. Because I think the minimum investment is $100 million on those notes. So, but enjoy whatever you're choosing to do. So, I could have, Jared. I could have written a dad joke. Maybe I put one in there and for you, but I'll have to think of one that's appropriate to put in here. Anyways, all right. So not much happening in the economic calendar. Not much happening in the markets overall. Not much happening on earnings. We didn't have any earnings after the close yesterday. Today we are looking forward. I was checking tradingterminal.com a little earlier, and there is some earnings that are coming out, but again, it's pretty late. I don't know. There's just not a lot to report right now. We've got Oracle after the close today. That was really the only one that I thought was interesting that we can look forward to see what happens. But I mean, unless they do, exceptional things, it's not normally a big earnings marker. Carlos, I don't know, man. We're on our own this week. It's pretty light. It's light.
It is. It's very quiet. It's very light, which again, we're getting into that summer style of trading where things do slow down. You can see it here on Nvidia, especially slowing down the overall market. If you look at the SPY chart, it's kind of sideways for right now, trying to slowly build a range, right? 536 and down to 532. There will be opportunities. All this means really Well, not all of it, but part of it's just, slow down, right? Slow down, be more patient. You're not going to get a move immediately. Your setup might not show up today, it might have to be tomorrow, you might have to wait. It just requires us to be a lot more patient, which is difficult to do, Peter, because once we get going, it's like every day, not that it's easy, because trading is not easy, but it seems like every day you find this A-type opportunities, right? Like A-class opportunities, and that's might not be the case today. So,
Right.
but with that, let's take a look at our gappers list. Right now, we have the gap down grew a lot. It wasn't this much earlier on. It was only like 3 tickers, but now I'm seeing more of these companies show up here. Right now, we have
Yeah.
B WAC and DXC in the green, and then the rest just appeared in the red. But a lot of it appears Bitcoin, BTC,
Yeah,
Mara,
I
ClearSpark,
think we're going to be
Coin, Riot,
disappointed on the list. It's all
yeah,
Bitcoin.
Hood. So it's all Bitcoin. So not really a big list. And then we know Iron is horrible. Zim is another really bad one. There's a lot of garbage stuff in this gap down list, right? We'll go through it. There's our garbage truck bringing in our gap down list. We'll go through it in just a second. After we go through our gap up. So good morning to you guys over on YouTube. Does not mean that just because our gappers list is garbage does not mean that we are garbage. So we would love a thumbs up from you on our channel to get 300 likes. So yeah, do not link the two. Do never link the gap up and down with our show, please. But let's look at the gap up this morning. BWAQ, it is horrible. 35% up this morning, 575,000 shares traded. Has all the flags on here, hard to borrow, SSR. And if you look at the daily and even the intraday, the pre-market so far, it is just, I mean, beyond garbage. This is so bad, Peter. Anything
we need
on
something.
this?
We need something beyond garbage.
Extra bad.
Like, what's that? Like a mushroom cloud or just what? Where? I don't know. All right. Well, yeah. I don't even see news. There's no analysts that follow this. Nobody cares. So I don't even know why this is moving this morning. To be honest, I don't see any news on it. So I got nothing to report. It's I can tell you it's called Blue World Acquisition Corp, which means it's a shell company. Which you can often tell. Sometimes it ends in a Q, or there are 5 letters. This one just happens to be 4. But yeah, we've already talked too much about it. There's nothing here.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk so much about it. They need to pay us for all the advertisement we just gave them because these guys are just garbage. So, all right, let's go to the next one. Another garbage truck. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this garbage truck a lot more often in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that, Duck. Duck, if you see that garbage truck coming your way. DXC.
Just to be clear, our garbage truck is environmentally friendly despite the fire in the back. It's electric powered, so
I was going to ask, is it running on EV, a Tesla battery on there? That's
absolutely.
DXC, brutal. We've seen this one plenty of times, gapping up and gapping down. Recently gapping down back in May 17. See the drop here. They normally don't trade very well. Had a decent day yesterday. Was this during market hours? It was not. So market hours didn't move much, but right before the close, like literally right before the close here, it made this move, which made the daily candle look pretty nice right into the close. So, right, it's just got it right in there. So timing was perfect, but normally doesn't move like that. So I don't know. Any news, Peter?
No, absolutely. Nothing. So this is my old company that I used to work for, or at least
your corporate company.
Yeah, the remnants of it. So I used to work for CSC, and it eventually merged with parts of Hewlett Packard and became this DXC. But they have an unsolicited bid. Oh, really? There you go. So I had another CSC alumni there. So, but they had an unsolicited bid from Apollo Global and Kendrill Holdings that are potentially making a bid. It's rumored that it's somewhere between $22 and $25 a share, which is why we're seeing a little bit of the jump up in price. Yeah, no confirmation yet. That might come during the day today through the company. So this might be in play. Typically, this is not, right? Typically, this is a very difficult one to trade. But if ever, rumors of a buyout bid, we'll get it potentially moving. It actually, it can get volume. So I don't know, Carlos. Look, being that we got little else at this point, why not? Let's watch DXC for the moment.
All right, let's do it. Do we put this on the main list, Peter? Are we going that far out, or is this a possible? What are you thinking here?
No, I don't think I'd go that far, but
Okay, I wanted to make sure we're on the same page. Yeah, let's do
yeah,
secondary
yeah,
list here for now. Up
secondary.
3%, and we'll see where this goes. Next on here, well, that's it for the gap up. Let's look at the gap down, and then we'll see what Peter has on his deck and what else is out there. TH, this is Target Hospitality, nothing to do with Target stores, I believe. So they are down 36% this morning, 320,000 shares traded. Big drop after hours yesterday, and then you're seeing some a little bit today as well. So I don't think I ever seen this ticker, Peter. Very light volume on their best days. They're not even getting above 5 million. Like, look at this day here, going from 1050 down to almost
Yeah.
850, and they traded 2 million shares, right? And if you wonder why we care about that, if you go back and look at that day, you're gonna see the price action is very difficult to read that. Actually, a great way to do that, by the way, Peter, is to go to tradingterminal.com, go to the replay function, and go over there and look at TH and go look at this date, right? Plug in what is this, March can't see the date here, March 14, and you can March 13, and you can
Yeah.
replay that entire day and see how the price action was, and you get a good feel for why we avoid these type of tickers. Anything on this, Peter? Big drop today.
Well, I mean, there is news. That's why it's moving. Just to be clear, this is called Target Hospitality. It has nothing to do with Target stores. They are
Yep.
apparently, according to themselves, North America's largest provider of vertically integrated modular accommodations. Okay, so I don't exactly know what that means. Do they like shipping containers that get stacked to make houses? I don't know. But anyways, they received notice that the U.S. government is going to terminate an existing contract to build the South Texas Family Residential Center. So that's bad news for them that they're losing that contract, and the reason why this is moving down this morning. So I'm tempted to. I want to see what one of these things looks like, but anyways, other than that curiosity, this doesn't look that interesting.
Yeah, sure does not. Heading down to the next two are pretty bad here. Here's Zim Integrated Shipping. Normally does not trade very well. If you could look at some of the previous days and the way they move, they're just really, really bad. Last couple of days, though, you have seen an increase, slight increase in volume in some days here, and then you see a wider daily candles. But again, it's just not great. I'm going to skip on this. Some news today, Peter, maybe, right? Because it's gapping down, and I see a little bit of action in the pre-market.
Yeah, I mean, shipping services has had a little bit of news. We got continued problems with some of the routes that are happening out of Europe. I mean, I never thought of shipping as a war stock, but but I guess they are sort of, right? Like, because they would be impacted, especially if shipping routes are affected. So I think that's why we're seeing a gap down. Other than that, there was a downgrade on Zim last week, but I don't see any new downgrades this week. So, again, I think it's just the fact that we've got some shipping route congestion and lack of ability to move product, which is clearly going to affect them downstream, pun intended. There you go. There's a dad-ish joke. Anyways. All right. So that's all I got on shipping.
All right. There we go. Just doesn't look good, guys. I'm gonna skip it. IREN. It's another one that is Iris Energy. Another brutal stock here, and just look at the way this trades, right? If you look at these candles, you can tell it's a pretty bad one, right? Based on why that's happening. Stop it. There we go. Here it is. Just pretty choppy. So be careful. I had a nice move here, but again, very light volume, very difficult to time. So just be cautious with it. I don't like it this morning. I'd rather watch something else or watch nothing. Next on the list, we have all BTC, ClearSpark, Mara, Coin. I'm not sure if Hood has his own individual news, but they can move with BTC at times. And we have Riot down here as well. So let's take a look at BTC first and see what's happening there. So hashtag BTC for Dash Trader Pro. And we're getting a little bit of a drop here over the last couple of days. Actually, the last 4 days have not looked pretty, Peter. Here, so we guess we hit the highs, recent highs, and just heading south.
Yeah, and I mentioned it yesterday, right after the weekend when we had that relatively large move, put us back into that area of congestion. So now that we're moving towards the bottom end, I'm not surprised to see all of the related mining stocks start to move downwards. So we might get some movement today. It's right at the bottom end of that. Now look at how many times it's touched this, right? So it could very well hold here and move back up over the course of the day. But at this point, yeah, they're looking shortable. So Carlos, like with how little we've got, pick your favorite, and maybe today's a good day to at least keep an eye. Excuse me, my goodness, keep an eye on one or two of them just in case they move for you. So whether that's a Riot or Coin or something like that, I think they're worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah. My favorite side of these is going to be Mavericks. Usually trades very well, which I like right now, 888,000. So I'll put that one on deck. We'll look at all of them, see which one looks cleanest. Clear Spark is the least of my favorite. I know they had a couple of days where they traded very well. When they have their own individual news, they're nice. But if you look at this, out of all of them, they're my least favorite. So I'm not going to look at that one. Coin is another one that once in a while trades very good. The moves could be a lot bigger. Got to be careful with the spread. Between Mara and Coin, they go back and forth on which one is trading the best. So, I'll put them both on there. I can fine tune that later. Or given the way this list is going, I can actually keep both of them. It's not a whole lot to watch today off the Gappers list. Riot, I'll skip on that one as well. It's just not really a whole lot happening. And between Mara and Coin, I think I have enough of the BTC stuff here. And Peter, did you mention Hood? I think Hood might just be moving on this as well. Is any individual news on Robinhood this morning? Which you're on mute, Peter. Oh,
I'm on mute. That's why you can't hear me. Sorry about that.
There we go. Gotcha.
That's my bad. And I mean, it's not really independent. I mean, they did mention a while back that they were making a bigger move into cryptocurrency, and they're continuing to push on that front. So, good for them. I suppose that's better for them if crypto and Bitcoin was moving up, right? So, but it doesn't affect their core business. Probably they're just seeing a little bit of lightness after all of the GME traders have decided to go home again. So,
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
What's GME at this morning? GME sitting
Speaking of, you made me think about GME.
Only 2.4 million shares. Hood is like running out of business.
Very light.
Yeah.
Very, very light for them. So where's our friend's position at Keith? He's down at 20 something. What is the
21? I think
average price?
Yeah, 21. So he was still up as of last report yesterday, about 18% on his position. Lost another $50 million yesterday. It feels like insanity to me. I don't understand. Again. When you're down $500 million on your position, you're like, well, I'm still up 18%. You gotta shake your head and say, man, like, just I don't know. That doesn't feel like smart trading. There you go. Alex on the palm tree's got the update. Right? There you go. Yeah, he was down 51 million yesterday, according to his post, and he at least he is laughing at himself. There was a post from a Roaring Kitty post that I saw that said. He had like him looking in a mirror at himself and saying, "I was a billionaire." So I think he knows he's made a bonehead move, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's more to it than that, man. I think this guy is all about the show and entertainment. And obviously he has money to be able to get this position, right? He has money. I don't think money's. I honestly think Peter, money's not the issue here. I don't think for him it is.
But
I mean, think about it. Think about what he's been doing. No, I think it's more about the entertainment with this guy.
There is. I don't know that the show is worth it, frankly.
Yeah,
is it worth?
I think it's all a show. That's what I'm.
Does he crave fame that much that he's willing to give up that much money just to stay in the limelight? Like that does. So. I don't know.
If you look at the tweets that this guy did, and I was shocked. It's like he created tweets that are almost an hour long, little clips of videos that he was releasing over and over again. To do that, man, you got to be really committed. There's some level of commitment that's beyond this madness. So, but there it is, 21, right? So
maybe
it doesn't make sense to us, Peter. I'm with you.
All right. Anyways,
Trust me,
whatever. Look,
there's a
he's
lot
got
of
more
things that
money
doesn't
in
make
his
sense. Yeah.
pocket than I do. So even if this all goes to hell, and he gets out of break even, he'll still have more money in his pocket than I do. So what, who am I to criticize?
Yep.
I can just say
No,
I
I
don't get
agree.
it. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It
Yeah,
just means I don't get it. So
I agree. George over on YouTube is saying, let's move on. Move on to what? What do you want to move on to? There's nothing happening. Everything is choppy. It's dead. All right. No, I'm kidding. Let's move on to something else. We could do that. Let's move on to Peter. What do you like this morning? We cover a gap up and gap down. What is on your list today?
well, I will say, you remember yesterday we had a little bit of talk on airlines because I thought that we would see if the airline industry would move. It did not, so nothing happened there. So I guess I'm telling you, nothing happened. I did like what I saw on AMD. I mean, it wasn't a great day for the stock, but it had good price action. There's a couple of good trading opportunities on it, so I'm going to continue to watch AMD and Nvidia. I still think they're fun and worth keeping an eye on. And Tesla, always on my list. And despite the fact that Tesla once again stayed in its range, didn't it? It dropped. So if it follows pattern, that means today we should see an increase in Tesla as it stays within this range. But who knows, right? Maybe today is the day it breaks out. It's been here for 3 weeks now. Look at this, just chopping back and forth and up and down. And yeah, it's been here for quite a while. So almost a month, I suppose, really. If you look back, early May, right? With just a couple of
before
exceptions
May. Yeah.
where it came out of that range that you just drew there. So I just think that something's got to break. You were doing the narrowing triangle drawings yesterday, Carlos, and it's hard to see what's going to happen, right? Like it's in the meantime, that small little range is still about a $5 range, and I still think there's trading opportunities, and every couple times a week I'll find them and I will take them. So anyways, it's on my list. Yesterday I will give a shout out to a couple people. Amazon was a good trader for a number of our traders in the room yesterday. Good move upwards off the open yesterday, and gave some great opportunities. So credit to all those who took it. Meta also followed suit and had a good day. So it might be worth watching those two again today just to see what they are going to do. But other than that, Carlos, I'm light on targets. I am going to watch the standard old standbys because that's what I can trust in. So
Yeah, I'm going there. Tesla looks good. I like this range, and even yesterday, like it was a little choppy, but look, it ended being a nice drop from 76 to 73. So $3 drop. Once it got a little bit clear that it was actually dropping, but like that one. Let's go over to our chat, guys. Start here with our members tab. And what do you guys like this morning? Tesla's on deck. That is good. AMD, in AMD we trust. AMD, yeah, again, just they also got a range, a wider and more messier range, but they seem to have one as well, right? Actually, it's almost a $10 range. If you look at the top 170, almost 160. It gets really messy, but like you said, there are some days here, like Tesla, they're going the full range. Those are really good days. A lot of opportunities there. So, I'll add AMD on here as well. How about Apple yesterday? What a interesting show on their new gadgets coming out or new software coming out yesterday. But investors didn't like it. That Apple Intelligence. Garbage.
They were focusing on AI, right, and their incorporation of AI into all of their products, and the market didn't seem to be buying the story. It was sort of a down day for Apple, and you can see in the afternoon it accelerated once they started promoting it, I guess, more. So I'm not sure. I don't know what to do with Apple today, so I didn't mention it because I think it was just a one-day thing. Like, I just don't think Apple's going to continue that momentum. It can be generally tradable, but I don't know what to expect out of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's going to have a great day. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. Apple does here. I'll add it on here. Secondary
this morning. Yeah. See, Apple volume hasn't even hit 1 million shares. Yeah. So it's not great.
Yep. 780. I watched the whole thing yesterday, and I gotta tell you, the way they present these things, like is they found something new. It's like, really, Windows did that specific feature like 10 years ago, and you're presenting it like you just found something. Like if nobody ever worked on Windows, which is usually not the case, because if you have a 9 to 5, you most likely are working on Windows, even if you prefer Mac. If you never worked on Windows, you probably think that, oh, like it's mind blowing. But I'm looking at this like, dude, this came out 10 years ago. You're presenting it like you've just created it. It's interesting. Very interesting.
All
But
about the hype. Sell
all about
the
the hype,
sizzle,
man.
not the steak, right? Hey, it's Clippy.
Exactly. Oh, there it is.
Clippy.
We need
The
that. We need that on there.
paperclip
Yeah.
everybody loved to hate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there you go. Good
very
old
interesting.
Clippy. It looks like you're trying to Clippy. That's not what I'm trying to do. That was an early failed attempt, I think, at AI,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Right? Clippy would always show up and
Yeah.
say, "Hey,
Yeah.
it looks like you're trying to," and you're like, "No, just leave me alone. That's not what I'm
I'm not
trying to
trying to do
do.
that. Get out the
Yeah,
way.
I
Yep.
don't want to." Everybody hated Clippy. Poor guy, just
Yep.
trying to do his job, man.
Agree. Agree. All right. Let's see what else, friends. Over on our chat.
Oh,
No, we looked at why?
SoCal Trader. I'm just seeing
Yeah.
on the screen here in our YouTube chat. But this is a quote from Elon, I guess, that he's taking some pot shots at Apple. Well,
Oh, did he
that
say
he
that?
likes to do that. He loves to
The
sling them
comment
around.
is, yeah, the quote is
He's
apparently absurd that Apple isn't smart enough to make their own AI. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. They're behind. Why? No, it's not looking good, guys. Only 143,000 shares traded. They're up 2%, but the volume on this is pretty light. I know there's some traders that do like to trade this one. Wait for the market open to see if there's some opportunities there, but I don't like the way the price action is on this ticker. But look at the rip they had since May. May they kind of back and forth here, and then completely took off. So that is looking pretty good there. But again, you have to like this ticker the way it trades. For my strategy, this is really not ideal. So, all right, yep, OpenAI. Oh, we're on the Apple talk.
they've got
yeah,
they've got some interesting news. I mean, I can understand why you might be looking at it. This Alzheimer's drug treatment that they've got. The FDA is recommending it. They're saying it's very effective. They're not saying that it cures it, but it can hold back the effects of it and drastically slow it. It looks like. So I don't know. I mean, that's always good news. It's not curing cancer, but I mean, hey, look, Alzheimer's is pretty close, in my opinion. I'm terrified of Alzheimer's, by the way. So
yeah.
you guys are my, you need to watch me. If I start slipping more than I already do, that's I'm in trouble. So.
No, you're pretty sharp, Peter. Besides the dad jokes, you're pretty good, man. You're excellent.
So far, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're good.
My daughter, I randomly, my daughter, a little while ago, it was funny. She was a late teen, so this would be about 5 years ago. She was just came home and she said something about, I can't remember what she asked me for, and I said, I have no idea. And she just throws out this comment out of the middle of nowhere. She says, "I'm afraid, Dad, I'm going to come home one day and find you wandering down the street, looking for something and not knowing what." And I'm like, wow, that's harsh, maybe accurate, but harsh. So I've been scared ever since. And I'm like, that's a teenager for you, right? Call it like she sees it. I'm like, all right.
Oh man, I tell you.
If I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I'm not wandering down the street lost. So that's good, anyways.
It's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, friends, over here on our YouTube chat, Nvidia. Yes, Nvidia will go on the list today as well. We'll look at Meta next. Again, Nvidia's tons of volume this morning. Again, 4.1 million shares traded. So yesterday, 314 million. So you could see tons of volume, but it was very, very choppy, right? It's like it had one run, but the gaps here were very, very choppy. So this pre-market action looks messy. Volume is on there, but I think it's worth watching until we get something else to look at the moment. Also stuck within a range, very similar to what the overall SPY is doing, right? Nice run. It's just kind of sideways for now. So let's see here, Meta and then Google. We'll look at those usual suspects. Meta, you can't tell a lot from Meta in the pre-market. And this is typical pre-market stuff from Meta. Very, very light volume. market opens, they might give you something great, they might not. So you just can't tell from the pre-market. We got space today. I'll put it here on my secondary list. My list today is more of a scanners type list. I just have these ready to see what's happening. It's more of a scanners type list because these are not heavily in play. We need to wait and see where the action is going to be at this morning. So we'll add Meta. We can throw in Google, but today's a scanners list, guys. TradingTerminal.com. You can get free scanners right on there. We got turbo breakup, turbo breakdown. Are my two favorites to see where crazy volume is at the market open. And then you got all kinds of reversals and all kinds of scanners there as well. So tradingterminal.com, take advantage, completely free. So go there now. We'll throw in the link in the YouTube chat if you haven't visited. You can take a look. Google, same thing here, Peter, right? It's just, what's the 3.6 about? 3.6 million shares. I don't see them in the chart, but could just be stuff being recorded. But again, just really nothing happening, guys, on Google. So I'm not going to add it. I don't see anything great on it this morning. We just got to wait and see where the volume is going to be at the market open. Take a look over in our YouTube chat in case there's something that we have not touched on. Tesla, we got it. That's interesting. Tesla's ATR is the lowest since October 2021. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, especially with being stuck here, right, in this $5 range. Yeah, like I said, look at the chart before that. Look how much we're moving between a 14-day period, right? So, yeah, we are. Look at this run back in May. So yeah, it's cooling down quite a bit. So, what else, friends? Over on YouTube, Google has high volume. Yeah, Penny, I saw that 3 point something, but it doesn't look like it's actual trading volume this morning. Just some transactions being posted. Tesla's, that's good, and then Apple. Yeah, Apple's behind. Yeah. We have Apple. Yeah, I have it on my secondary. I think people were not impressed yesterday with their report, but I have it on here to see what happens. Apple is not first to do things a lot, but Leonardo, but they like to do things their way, a certain type of way that they like, us an Apple community, Apple ecosystem, right? But they can't wait on this AI thing. They got to throw something together fast. So they did the Chat GPT thing, which kind of, everybody's like, okay, we know about Chat GPT. Everybody's been using it already. So the fact that you're partnering with them is not something big. If you look at that, it was at, I wrote it down. It's what, 206. I wrote the time down. It's like 206. The minute they brought that up, I wanted to see that AI word, how it affected the stock. Immediately dropped. It had a spike up, and when they saw it Chat GPT, it dropped right down. I wrote the time down to see how it reacted, and exactly what happened. People were not impressed with that. They want to see something more out of the big giant here. But we'll see. Still a very evolving AI system that's being created. So we're still in the very, very beginning of all that mania. Friends, that is all we have. Peter, anything else on the gap up, gap down, or anything else you like? I'm going to go over to community events and announcements. That's it. Right?
I got nothing. No, nothing else.
Let's go. Yeah, let's do that. Here's what there is something happening is in our community every single week. So Peter's going to walk you through. Today it's just Tuesday, right? It's just Tuesday. So we're going to go over Tuesday and we'll see what's happening tonight.
Well, while I'm here, let me give a shout out to my daughter, who's the one on the left there, turning 25 today. So it's my youngest.
Awesome.
25.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Quarter century. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So beautiful birthday today. And all right, but in the room we have lots of things happening. It's a Tuesday night, which means that we had a successful onboarding webinar last night. Thank you, Megan, for covering last night, and I'm sure it went very well. And tonight we have Thor, who's taking over and going to talk about the how. The where, the when, and the how are sort of the three tenets of his trading strategy, and he's going to talk about the how tonight. So the mental art of taking trades is what it's called, and there's always a lot of good information packed in there. So it should be an awesome session. Put it in your calendar. If you're an elite member, you can attend that in our webinar room. Once again, 8 o'clock. We're still missing, I guess it's Tuesday. I don't know why we don't have anything on Tuesday. Is that because of like the holiday? No, is that this week? I'm getting all confused. No, next week is
Wednesday, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't seem to have, we don't have a strategy webinar for next week, right? Because that would be the 18th. So It keeps throwing me off here. But anyways, we got one scheduled here. John is on the 25th. He should be back for vacation by then. John is heading off on vacation, and I think he's going to be back for then. Maybe that's why we don't have anything scheduled. Well, I keep saying I got to find out. I keep forgetting to ask Mike, so I will figure that out. But tonight, 4. Put it in your calendar. You can't miss it. All right. And if you want to join us here in the chat room to see the live chat, which is a lot more certain than I am about the webinars for next week, you can do it for just $1, $1, just $1. We just do that to make sure the bots and the scammers don't get in the room. And if you want to join us, go to bearbulltraders.com/YouTube. You see it right there on your screen. We post it regularly in the commentary on the YouTube chat. So hopefully you'll join us for $1. It's a great deal. And you can sort of be there live with us all day. If you've already done that, because you can only do it once, and then you want to join us on a more regular basis, the basic or elite monthly packages are there for you, or the elite annual, which is always your best deal. So looks fantastic for you to be part of this community. And hopefully you will do that soon. Kyle is commenting, my daughter might be right. Yes, true. I will soon be wandering the streets not knowing where I'm going to go. And she'll have to come and find me. So anyways, all right. That's what we got for a webinar tonight. If you want information on the markets, look, whether there's things happening or not, tradingterminal.com has got information for you. It's always available. And it's always chock full of good advice and news. So check it out. It's got a news feed. It's got scanners. It's got a simulator, right? A market simulator and a replay mode. You can go in there and test out stocks on any day, like sort of trade them, both simulated and in replay. You can go to the Academy, which has got courses that you can look at. It's got tons of stuff. So check it out, tradingterminal.com. You can't go wrong if you go there and check it out. So showing you on the screen right now, and it's all good. Carlos, we've got a couple of things to set levels on, but it's so quiet, it's almost disturbing.
It is. It's you know what?
These aren't bad days for. I've said it before. I haven't said it in the last couple of days, but I actually don't mind trading these days. So, while it's really, really quiet, often it can give good patterns, right? Because the patterns don't get interrupted by, lots of other sort of activity. So it may be an actual, good trading day. I just have to be very patient and wait for my trade setups. But I'm hoping that tomorrow I can come back and report to you how awesome my trading was, because maybe we can get something going there. People are talking about AFRM has some news that wasn't on our target list. Not a lot of volume, but it did just jump up. What's going on with AFRM?
What is it? AFRM? Affirm?
Affirm, yeah.
There we go. Nice. Oh, nice pop. Oh, we got something to look at. Okay, let's make some.
Good jump up. The volume just came in on it, so it's got to continue this volume. But I don't see it in the formal news. Apparently, informally, they believe it's an Apple Pay partnership, but I don't see confirmation of that. I see people cursing the stock.
Speaking of Apple Pay, have you been to Walmart and tried to pay with your Apple Pay? Have you done that, Peter?
I can't say that I have. No,
they don't accept Apple Pay. Did I tell you this? I don't know if I told you this. No. This is the most ridiculous thing I ever seen in my life. You're this big retailer, and you don't accept Apple Pay, so they only accept Walmart Pay. They don't accept anything else, not even Google Pay, just Walmart Pay.
What's Walmart Pay?
It's just like, it's like, I guess they have their own Apple Pay thing. I have no idea.
I didn't know that
I think you have to have like
I'll admit, I generally try and avoid Walmart unless I absolutely have to go there. It's not my favorite place to go, but I didn't know. All I know is when I went to a Walmart in the States, when I was in South Carolina, and I went in and they're like, we don't even have tap here. I'm like, really? They're like, you know what? I don't know. It's funny. The clerks there were busy complaining and saying, we're so far behind. We got nothing. And I'm like, so, because I wasn't even carrying credit cards on me. I'm used to just tapping everywhere. I'm like
just tapping everything I go. So I did the same thing. Yeah. I left my wallet in the car, and I had to go back and get it. I told the lady, this is so dumb because money's money. Just take my money. Like, why are you making it hard for you to take my money? It makes no sense to me. So guess what? Next time I have a choice to go to Target, I'm going to go to Target to go get something, right?
There you go.
It just doesn't make any sense. All right. Somebody at the front door. Okay. Let's see what's happening here, friends. I think we're all set. Let's do levels and we'll see
Gold nugget.
what we got moving. What was that?
DXP day trader saying carry gold nuggets in the future because you can always buy something with a gold nugget, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Here is let's look at Mara, guys. We got Mara Coin, Tesla, AMD, Nvidia, and Affirm. I miss a lot on here. I don't really think these are all in play, but we'll do levels for them here quickly. Here's Mara. So Mara this morning, again, Bitcoin did drop a little bit over the last couple of days, and we've seen their stock react. 1863 is the level here we're going to mark down, and then towards the bottom we're going to slam over another level at 1803, and then one down at 1698. So I think you're set once you do that. Highs and lows for the last two trading days right on here, covering the top of this range, and we'll see. There's a couple of days where they actually traded pretty decent. A big drop here. This would have been on the 6th. This would have been last week, but still nice drop there. If they can trade like that again, that could be very nice. Coins, another one that we could look at towards the top. You're set highs and lows for the last two trading days. Even the previous day close up there. Between these two, I'll pick one. I probably won't keep them both up here, but I'll keep one for the main list going into the market open. Which, by the way, guys, live trading with Brian and Thor this morning at the market open, taking you through 9:30 up to an hour. So stick around for that. So make sure you hit that thumbs up as well to show your support. 233.65 and 225.86 towards the bottom on coin. And then Tesla here, again, just this tight range we've been talking about between 180 and 170, 450-ish or so. Towards the bottom of that, because that's where we're nearing here at the moment, hanging out the lower end of that range, 171.44, and below that we do have 168.06. So that pretty much has to cover there towards the downside, and then towards the top, just mark down the high of the pre-market at 174.34, and then you have the range on the top here covering you on the upside. So here's AMD, a much bigger range, a little bit messier, but still sitting at this great area of support. It's just kind of hanging out here, seeing what the market is going to swing its way. 158.19 is the level below the low of the pre-market and the previous day close. Then we also have 155.10 here towards the bottom, towards the top. Highs and lows doing a pretty good job, but they missed this level that I think is worth marking. It's going to be 163.15. You just have a lot of support. A lot of support happening right around that area. I think it's worth marking down. All right, our good buddy Nvidia continues to have, look at this messy price on DAS, right? Still has 1,219 up there as the price on this 5 minute, then back down to 121. We saw that yesterday. So it's just a little bit funky, but once you zoom in, you're perfectly fine. I'm sure over the next couple of days, that's all going to reset and look much cleaner. As far as the high of the pre-market today, we are sitting at 122.51. Tons of volume. A lot of it just very choppy this morning. 121 also towards the bottom, low of the pre-market. And towards the top, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. Your all-time highs sitting at 125.51. So I already have friends emailing me, hey, is it a good time to buy Nvidia? I saw the price changed. So I already got the common folks emailing us, texting me saying, hey, should I buy this? So I'm like, you should have it in your portfolio. I'm not going to tell you don't day trade it, but put in your portfolio, buy some of it. I think it's worth having in stock. So that could be the common folks, bringing in more volume, which is good. Long term, I think they'll be fine. Affirm continues to move here. You got some volume. We're up 6.4. 34.20 is high of the pre-market there. Above that, we do have 35.50, and we also have 36.58. And then right where the price action is, you could clearly tell that's some kind of area as well. You got a lot of support resistance, tons of days slamming into that opening and closing right at this 32.50. 32.18. No wonder why we're just kind of hanging out here and trying to see what's next for this ticker here. Towards the bottom, highs and lows. Towards the top as well, you're pretty much set 34.20, 55, 35.50, and 36.58. So, friends, that is our watch list. Again, not a blockbuster list by any means, but we do have some stuff that hopefully we can get going. We have our scanners, we have our chat room. So, guys, if you see something that's moving great, call it out so we can take advantage and see if we can join the party. That's all we have. Home Depot does not accept Apple Pay too. Yeah, they don't. They don't even accept any type of like device pay. So I always know to bring my wallet there, to Home Depot. So they don't accept like any type of digital pay for some reason. Um, Stuck in their old ways, I guess.
Hmm.
All right, we are set. Peter, anything else we might have missed before I get to our
Uh,
moderators list, and then Brian and Thor
I'm
next?
surprised Home Depot doesn't take that. Of course, I haven't shopped at Home Depot in a while either. It's when you get older, you like already have everything for the house, and I don't have kids beating the house up anymore. So I realized my need for repairs and changes have reduced significantly in the last few years. So
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. I'm
do they
just
take
winding up
tap?
on this thing, man.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
Actually,
don't think they take tab.
I think they
Yeah, I
do in
don't think they
Canada.
take tab.
I don't remember
Yeah,
a problem buying. I did buy fertilizer, come to think of it, but maybe I was at Lowe's. I'm not sure, but
yeah. I was
yeah, they
in
do
the
in Canada. All right, people say they do in
in
Canada.
the
So there you
they do in Canada. Here they don't. I remember I had to take my. I forgot to bring gloves. You see, I was not an expert. I went to pick up mulch, whatever, and I forgot to bring gloves. Everybody else had their gloves. I'm like, crap. So I'm grabbing the bags, and they're all wet because they're outside. They get wet. My hands are dirty, and I try to take my phone to tap it, and they don't take it. So I had to reach into my pants, get my pants so dirty, take out my wallet. I'm like, what the heck? So I remember that. Um, in NJ, they don't take tap. Yeah, so they don't have tap in NJ for some reason.
well, that's
Um,
what you get for
all
buying
right.
mulch in your white pants, Carlos. You should have known
In
better.
my
So.
white khaki pants. Yes, absolutely. Um,
First world problems,
Friends,
indeed, PT. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, friends, here we are. Watch this for our moderators. Let's get to that. And then Thor and Brian up next. As soon as they log on, we'll switch over to them. So they should be making their way over. And they'll take you through the market open. Thor, looking at Nvidia, Tesla, and Amazon today. Peter, oh no, these are one SPAC opening up to Alfu. Alfu, whatever that is. And then
Alfu. Alfu,
yeah.
yes.
Pierre is looking at Nvidia Mara GM, which is, did you mean GME or you meant like GM, like General Motors?
General
General
Motors.
Motors
Is
got
General Motors
some.
doing something? Maybe.
Yeah,
Hold on.
they're
I didn't look
ramping
at
up
it. Let's
here.
see.
They're up
Not really.
1.5. Yesterday they had a nice pop as
Hmm.
well. So that might be
Maybe he
worth
knows
taking a look
something.
at General Motors. You know something we don't know. Yeah. All
I
right.
don't. I
So
don't see.
we'll
I
add
don't
GM
really
on
see
there.
anything going on with it, but
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday they had a decent pop. So
the
we'll see.
board approved a $6 billion share repurchase program.
Oh, I did hear. Yeah, I heard that yesterday. Yeah, yeah. I forgot. I did hear that yesterday. How I was going to trade today, I'm not sure. So we'll see. That's always good. They
Could make
believe in the
a move.
company. Is this all time
Let's
highs?
see. $10 billion
Is this all time high?
accelerated share repurchase. Blah blah blah. One part. So they're doing they're
No.
putting their money back into the company, thinking that it's undervalued. That's clearly the statement that they're making here. So we'll
Yeah.
we'll see what they do. All right, maybe
Good for them. Yeah.
GM. Okay.
Yep. I have it on the secondary. I mean, it's not a great trading ticker, but yesterday they did very well. Low volume. It takes a different type of style to trade it, but we'll add it on here.
Yeah.
Brian, the man of the hour, looking at Apple, Affirm, AMD, Nvidia. Megan will be looking at Google, Affirm for her. And thanks for covering last night. Megan did the onboarding class yesterday, so I'm sure you guys had a whole lot of fun there. And then Peter, you're watching AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, and that secondary list, Amazon, DXC, and also Mara for you this morning. So excellent. And with that, we are ready to rock and roll. We'll wait for our signal here to switch over. In the meantime, checking our YouTube comments, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton, friends, when you do that. I'm not sure how much we're sitting at. What's our likes look like this morning? I have not checked, so I will head over there and check. We love to be at 300, guys. That is our goal. It helps us out a ton. Subscribe if you have not done so already. We are 441,000 subscribers, close to our midpoint goal of giving away a Tesla. So stay tuned for that. We're sitting at 169 likes. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Should be a lot of fun when Andrew
Yeah,
gets
I
back.
know the subscribers keep growing. I think it's great, and we'll see. Andrew's going to come back and have a big surprise when he sees how many. I'm sure we're going to start to give things away. Kyle Taylor, I love that picture. I think we're going for a slightly bigger maybe we can give away that Tesla at the 500,000 mark. How about that? I don't know where you get that
Which was
one,
that one?
but look in
Where is it? I gotta go
the
see it
comments of the
in
chat
the
room.
chat. Let's see here if I scroll up. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Hey, if you have kids, you want that? Absolutely. There it is. That is the Tesla will give away when we get to 500,000 subscribers. We'll give that
There
one
you
there.
go. We'll give away that one.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we still have all those laptops to give away. So it's again, they're coming.
Yes.
Oh, look, I see
Yep.
Brian's here. Good morning, Brian.
Hey,
Good morning, Brian.
Loving
Brian,
the look
question
of
to
that.
ask you. Question to ask you. You might know this. Did have you heard from Andrew? Did he set the world record yet? I know they were going for it this weekend. Did that take place?
I think they're still stuck on the mountain. I don't know. Is there a song for that?
Oh, for the weather. Yeah.
I don't.
Coming
Is there a
around
song
the
for that?
mountain.
Yeah.
They're coming around the mountain.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I cannot imagine a more miserable, trip than being stuck on a mountain in the snow for, like 3 weeks. Like
Yeah.
that's not, I don't know. It's
That's
not my idea of fun, but as long as Andrew's enjoying himself, I do hope he gets the record and gets to the mountain safely. But yeah, it's.
I hope they don't run out of time, Peter. Right? I mean, what was the time frame they
Well,
have? Like 27 days. That would suck. Can you
Yeah, I
imagine?
think Brian, you were saying
Ah,
there's a limited, right? They don't let them stay for much
Yeah.
longer. Like they literally could just time out.
Yeah, I think you
Man.
run out of food, which is kind of important.
yeah, that is important, I guess. All right, friends. We'll leave you with Brian, guys. Take care. Have an amazing trading day. Thor should be coming on pretty soon as well, and we'll join Brian. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30. Have a great trading day.
Yep. Trade smart, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Carlos and Peter, for excellent pre-market show as usual. There isn't a lot of stuff that's really super interesting here. Affirm, Peter mentioned already, has popped up a little bit on this apparent news that's out. Let's see. Let's share screen. All right. Well, that's what Affirm looks like right now. We do have some orders up 33.25, 33.50, 34. So looking interesting. It's probably the only interesting thing that's really there right now. AMD looks like it might be getting ready to maybe bust a move a bit. It had a rough day yesterday. So I'll be watching maybe for a bit of a pullback on AFRM just at the open. See if it gives us an opportunity to get in for a long. And what else? I think it's we've got a lot of stuff coming up tomorrow. We've got the CPI data coming out at 8:30 in the morning, and everybody's obviously going to be watching that because that's, of course, the read on how the inflation fight is going. And then Powell's going to speak at 2:00, so that's going to be. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I should be sharing a screen there. Right now, I'm just looking at Affirm. Let's see what else. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD has some orders here, 163, 164, 165. Pretty heavily
Howdy,
loaded
partner.
to the upside. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Getting all set up in here. I was watching you go through the book there while I was getting logged in. I was like, all right, it's looking good. Interesting day on the market today. Order books on the market. We're selling a little bit into the open, and our order books are actually a little balanced right now. So, not sure if maybe today we chop a little bit. I know, especially with we have a lot of our expirations are going to start hitting next week. So, I don't know with that, and then what FOMC tomorrow. We could be a little
Yeah,
choppy in the market. So maybe we can get one
yeah.
of these AMDs or some Teslas to play nice for us today, because I don't know what the market's going to give us.
No, yeah, I'm not really excited about much right now. The firm's now pulling back a bit, but yeah, I think the general consensus here, there isn't a lot of market moving news, and the market moving news is going to be, maybe it's just going to be a lot of chop today. So we shall see. Yeah, the Qs are kind of just chopping along here. Same with the SPY. The AMD was looking kind of like it was going to break out here, and now it's pulling back.
We are technically in a higher range on the market itself with kind of the way we rallied off the lows yesterday. So it'll be
Right.
interesting to see if we can find a buyer in here at all. It's kind of, I mean, we're really been selling a lot in the pre-market, but CVD is slightly green. So we had a little bit more buying than selling. So we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting open, which is in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Google looks like it's popping up here. Ook. Just did a big pop. What was that?
Hey, Roberto. Hello, everybody in YouTube Landia. How are y'all doing over
Yeah.
there? Coming by to say
Good
hi.
day. Good day. Good
Tesla
day.
for me is in a lower range. So actually, I'm going to look for a pullback to 175.50, and I'll probably be looking to see if a short sets up there. AMD for me actually is is also in a lower range. So it'd be kind of a similar play, actually. I might look for it to pull back to 162 and look to see if I can find something there. So should be a pretty interesting day to see what we can get. If the market decides to roll over and go weak today, those two tickers both could be really fun plays. I also like Nvidia today because I can actually play it. Couldn't play it yesterday. Didn't have cams with all the splits and stuff. I didn't know what to do with
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Today it's in a higher range today, even after yesterday's buy. So I if it sells off to 120, I'd be interested in picking it up around 120 to see if I can get a longer move. And that one's had some good buying already in the pre-market. So we got some options.
Yeah. Google's looking pretty interesting. I don't know what's going on there. All of a sudden, it decided to spike up there.
About to open here in 35 seconds. Good luck, everybody.
Yes.
Keep in mind, without a definitive direction being picked in the pre-market right now, we could have a little price discovery at the open. So, 10, 15 minutes, maybe of a little bit of chop if we don't pick a direction. So just kind of keep that in mind.
All right. 10 seconds to the open, everybody. And just remember, on YouTube, the feed is delayed. So here we go. We're
Ding,
open,
ding.
and just watching Google right now. A little bit of choppy price action at the start here. Affirm just went through 33.
ES
Long Affirm.
ES
It's
opened
got
up with a pretty fair amount of selling there.
At 33. Gonna sell some here at 64. So we can get back to 34 here on Affirm. Still got half my position. So a lot of orders up really stacked. Apple's breaking out. It's interesting. Okay, let's see. Come on, Affirm. Push. There we go. Push, push, push. Here we go. Get some more buying coming in. Man, Apple's really breaking
push
out
on the market.
Yeah, look at Apple go. Hard to chase Apple now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Taking some more Affirm off because I don't like the way it's taken too long to here. So it's sold more at 33, 38. Don't know if it's got the legs to push up here. Here we go. It's going to try again. It's a seller at 60. Oh, there we go. He dropped. There we go. Now we're going to 34. Almost. Yeah, I was getting a little worried it was going to roll over there. But Qs are moving up. Wow, Qs going one way, SPY going the other.
Yeah, things are just wild right now. Let's see.
Tesla really took a bit of a drop there. It's down to S3.
Yeah, it's in a lower range though, so it could bounce here. But I prefer to actually buy these a little lower when they're in a lower range. I'd like to get it maybe down closer to 171. So, but it looks like it's finding a buyer here, and there is a monthly level here, 172.60 is a pretty decent buying level on the month. So, and it's been consolidated with that as a low for a very long time. So,
yeah, I'm out of the rest of the firm.
It looks like a lot of selling is hitting this thing right now. So I think I'm going to hold out on this and see if it can get down to 171. If it gets to 171, maybe I'll look to pick up some of it.
This was what I was worried about Affirm, so I got out of the rest of it on that plunge there. Oh, 5 minutes into the trading day. Yeah, Apple's on fire. Apple is through R3, through R4. Ooh, pretty messy level 2. See what Apple looks like.
Yeah, Apple's got the AI news, and I think that's making it a little extra spicy. What were they talking about? Like basically sticking AI in, I don't know, pretty much everything, right?
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It just reminds me of the .com bubble. Like, let's just call ourselves a .com company. People will pay more for us. We got a big order there at 196.50.
All right, Tesla got down pretty close to my S4 now, so I'm keeping an eye on it.
Here we go. Just got a little pop there on Apple, and they moved their bid up. They moved their ask up.
There's the wick.
Right. See, look at this. Well, they're at 197. A little bit of orders there. They took out. Nvidia's popping a bit up. It's at high of day again. There's your Tesla 171. 171 or 170. It's at 170 now. Wow. Tesla would have been a good short. Okay, here we go on Apple. Looks like 197. 197 is yesterday's high of day. So expect some resistance there once we get there. But there's a big order here. Here we go. Okay, just selling a bit here.
No,
there we go.
Tesla went through S4, so unfortunately a trending breakdown is on the table in this range. So I did not see the volume or what I was expecting to see for a bounce there. So I am not gonna, even if it bounces, I'm not gonna take that one. I'm just gonna let it go. Yeah. I still think there's a large seller at 170 that I think we're gonna go to. So I don't want to buy Tesla right now. So it just looks like it's selling too heavy.
Okay, I'm all out of Apple. And still through that 197 level. As I said, it's going to pull back here. This is yesterday's high.
Where are we at? Apple? Wow.
Yeah, the order book looked really nice.
Still looks just really strong.
Yeah, it does. It's not giving much of a pullback. It's still May.
I'm going to look at 198.50 to see if anything happens there. It was the breakout range from yesterday, and it's R6 on these plays. I can sometimes get some really extreme reversals, and 198 is carrying an absolute ton of orders. So if we're going to reverse, that's going to be the spot. But it might not. I mean, today could literally like be a run to 200 today. So
well, with this AI news. Yeah, no kidding. AI, baby. That's all you need.
Woo! Look how bullish that order book. For everyone out there in YouTube Landia, if you're interested in seeing what a really bullish order book looks like, just look at Google right now on Brian's, or if you can see mine, you could probably see Apple. But you can just see that at the open, once they came in, we had large buying right at the open, and then we moved strongly up through the multi-tier, very, very aggressively tiered order book to the top side. It also doesn't really look like we can reverse right now either, because there's just a large void of orders to the downside. So we're probably going to do a little pullback here and then try and push for 198. I'd like to see what happens at around 198.50 to see if we can stall out. So, but I don't think this thing's quite ready for a reversal yet. It's a party, though. Good time, Apple.
Yeah.
Advice on GME from Adam. GME is not my favorite ticker. Because it's kind of being mob run right now.
Advice is stay away. No, it's I don't know how you play GME. It's just too many
Yeah.
retail traders and other traders in this. It's going sub 20.
The thing you always kind of have to remember when you're picking your stock selection, right, is you have to kind of remember, let's say you want to go play a football game. And when you go to play football, you go up and all of the people there are all like semi-pro football players. They all played in high school. They all kind of know all the rules, everything, So it takes you about 4 seconds to organize the game. Everyone picks their spots, and you get out there and you start playing. When you get into a ticker kind of like what GME's got going on right now, you have to kind of think, like, I'm going in to play a pickup football game, but I'm going to pick it up with someone who's never played football before. And I'm going to have to let them just figure out the rules as we go. So this is why these tickers can just have absolute just garbage participation and blow through all the levels and go have all these other issues, because unfortunately, like, people aren't, they're not focused on the rules the right way, right?
Yeah, it's just people chasing the price around. Tesla's trying to bounce here at 170. As I said, this previous day high on Apple is proving to be a bit of a gate, if you want to call it that. It's trying to get through there. There are some large orders to the upside here.
Here we go. Come on.
Look at Nvidia's coming back up.
I got long on NQ when we came back above VWAP after we
Nice.
held S3 perfectly. I should have gotten long closer to the open, but I let it pull back to the 50 and hold it, and I went long off of VWAP. So you can see here, I'm in right here on the pullback.
Nice.
So my stop's actually a low below this value area. So I got a pretty good thing going here. So if it comes back down and flushes back down, I'll jump right out of it. This should go, or if it doesn't, I'm not going to be married to this position. So. Meh. That's boring. Come on.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. See, AMD's kind of... Oh, here goes Apple. Apple's looking
I was
like
waiting
it's...
for a while on that one. It's just... we'll see.
Apple's probably going to go to 198.
We'll get something fun. We just got to be patient. Man, Apple's really struggling in front of this. Apple's got an iceberg seller. They're coming in off of I want to say 197. I want to say 197.50. I got out of that NQ position at break even, by the way. They've got a really big iceberg seller here. You can kind of tell our green dots as the buying's coming in. We're not really moving up. We're moving laterally. And we have our red dots coming in. And when the red dots come in, they're actually dropping the price. So our bid is being, we're absorbing when we try and buy, and we're easily selling. So we definitely have a large seller, and they're coming in ahead of the institutional order. So it's an iceberg seller. So that's so we got to kind of keep an eye on that. That's adding a lot more selling to this range that maybe they weren't expecting. So if we can, hopefully they'll do a nice UTAD here. Which for those of you who are your Wyckoff fans, that's an upward thrust after distribution. we can get this thing to explode up and then kind of climax out around these levels, and we could fade it. Otherwise, right now, the order book still looks pretty bullish. So
Yeah.
we just let this thing run.
But you're right. There's definitely a seller here, 197.50. Yes, but yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to the upside still here. Here we go. Big order at 198. Here it comes.
Here we go. Let's see how it eats this order.
And another order there, 199. I think Apple's kind of Apple's. I think Apple's pretty pissed that Nvidia's been outshining it here with its market cap.
Right?
I think you can do that. I can go higher.
They're like, what the heck, Nvidia? I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, I'll show you how it's done. It's a race to the top. This is Amazon. Wow, Amazon really sold off, eh? It was green last time I looked at it.
There's a lot of volume just hit the futures right there.
Yeah, that really dropped Qs.
Wow. This gets the ES all the way to S6. What a dip. A lot of volume here.
Wow, Tesla really dropped again, eh?
Yeah, like I said, that's why I didn't bottom it there, because the volume was still selling, and on a lower range, you can have a trending breakdown. So I didn't want to just bottom it because it was low. It looked like it still wanted to sell. So no, Ray, I cut the NQ at break even when it failed. It popped, and it came with such good volume on that pop, it should have kept going. Seeing it stall and roll back over, I was either wrong or stuck. So I just decided to get out of it.
Yeah, definitely an iceberg seller there on Apple. You can just see those large green balls aren't moving the stock up. But it still has support at the same time. There's still buyers there on pullbacks. So I really didn't think this was going to be a great day, but nice trade on Affirm, good trade on Apple.
Really boring day for me so far. But that's okay. That's not unusual. We're only a half hour in.
Yeah.
Apple's still struggling off that 198 order. Anytime it goes
Yeah.
into that order, it's getting the door slammed on it. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a fresh drink real quick while
Sure.
I'm just hanging out.
Here's your big order. Wow. We just took that level out. Yeah. And now we've got 199 up there. Yeah, Apple may go to 200 today. We've got a level back in December. We had 199.62. Spine Q's bounced a bit off S4. S4 off the Q's.
All right, I am back. So, a little bit of a bounce there in the market. Apple's still driving.
Yeah, Apple's still moving up here.
So when we came down with all that volume we found, I did try and grab the bottom here. So I went long when it pushed down in, and I bought that hard volume dip right there as we pushed down and struggled. So I did that on the ES and the SPY basically simultaneously. So I'm just kind of sitting here now waiting to see if this is going to carry through. If these drop back down, I'll be back out.
You're trading the futures, right?
Futures and an ETF right now, actually. I'm kind of trying to double dip the same move. But we'll see what happens. It's a good spot for a bounce right off of S6. We're at the bottom end of the extension. So, it's a pretty good spot. And we found really good volume here into a solid buyer. So I like that.
Wow, Tesla's really getting extended to the downside here. Let's take a boo. Got a lot of orders at 168. There's really nothing on the upside, just dark matter.
So Apple, interestingly enough, just ripped up through this order and then rolled over.
Wow, Q's lost it again. They're down. We're down to S4. Yep, just no buying brigade yet.
Yeah, break evens for me again, it looks like. I still got the futures one, but the SPY already hit break even. Boring morning for me. I didn't really have any strategy sets because of where we opened that really allowed me to get short. So unfortunately, this is just going to be one of those days where, it happens to me once every, a couple times a month where the market just kind of opens in a weird spot. So it doesn't really fit my systems. So I end up getting stuck waiting around for an hour or two for things to get into the right spot. But, what are you going to do?
Just go with your trade book.
Yep, just hang out.
Yeah, don't start inventing trades.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That is one of the hard things to do as a as a trader is starting to get impatient, and then you just start making stuff up.
Tesla is going to maybe lose 168 here.
AMD is interesting here.
Yeah, it's coming down to S4.
It's S4, which on a trend short is where I would look to buy, and it's also S3 for the month at this level, this green line. So it's I'm getting into a buying range on the month, and I'm kind of near where I'd like to buy. So I'm just going to kind of look and see if I can find some buying. So far, no buying.
Yeah, there goes. Tesla took out that 168 level.
Careful on Apple, Affirm. Its order book was still pretty bullish, and it can go to floor levels with the kind of attention it's got right now. So don't just assume it'll turn just because it's there. It may, but don't get in front of the freight train. 157 carrying bid. I'm hearing in the room that a few people are having issues with getting into toss right now. So if others are having that issue, no, you're not alone. I'm into my Thinkorswim somehow, but I had it up all night long, so I forgot to log out of it. So
maybe that was a good thing.
Knowledge. I won't. I'll make sure not to log out of it.
We're getting a pop back up on the Qs now.
I'm still in my ES long.
Popping back on the SPY.
Got a buyer.
Wow, big move on the Qs. Big move back.
Fingers crossed. I'm still holding this stinking ES position that I bought. See how this goes. I'm also long on my other platform as well. I have more than one account. So I also, once we got down into this area, went ahead and bought some ES micros here, 4-1. So we'll see if we can make some money.
Beauty. Why is Tesla down so much? I wonder.
Tape just lit up red on the ES right there.
Wow, look at Apple still moving here.
There we go. It absorbed really nice though. Okay, that was nice. That was really nice. Let's see if it sustains that. So we just had a whole bunch of selling come in, and then it squeezed right up off of it. So it looked like some pretty decent buying.
Big order at 200 on Apple, but it's got to get through that 67 level. Apple's going to get to this 200. I think it's going to have to pull back a bit first here. Well, maybe not. Who knows? Look at her go. I think there's going to be a lot of oh, here we go. We got through got through that level, that prior high, 199.60. Still playing this one. Nice. We got a few of our moderators playing Apple as well. Just really strong all the way. I don't know if this thing's going to, if people are going to front run this 200 again. There's a huge amount of shares there. Over 1 million shares on the books at 200. It's one of the biggest orders I've ever seen on a stock. See what Tesla's doing.
Just kind of hanging out here, making sure I'm in two pretty decent positions here, but they're not getting the follow through that I'd like to see. So, but it's okay. It's a nice low volume pullback, which is great. That makes it a lot more likely for me to get an advance in my direction. So, you know, I'm okay with just kind of hanging out here and seeing what's going on. AMD didn't give me the signal I wanted, Kristen. I wanted more and a more tight adherence. Yeah, we can look at AMD. AMD is right here. Actually, I already have it up.
Yeah, look at the Qs right back near high of day. Buying brigade came in right at S4. It's dropped a little bit below there, eh?
Oh yeah, actually, it looked pretty good. I could have gotten long there on AMD. So what I was looking for is I wanted a little. Actually, that's pretty good. Big volume push down, and then the volume dropped, and then we had this really nice hammer candle on high volume, kind of like a spinning top, basically, right here in the high value area, right at S4. This would have been good. I could have done that. I started. I kind of got. I wasn't really feeling it when it came down in here. I was expecting to see that volume more here. So I went off because I was watching SPY and Qs and was looking for a bounce kind of in there. So I just ended up going with that. And lately for me, I trade futures a lot these days. So especially when things are kind of not really fitting the way I like trades, I'll fall back to my futures because they're the things I can trade the most accuracy, most comfortably. So I'm still holding this position on this one. So which you can see drop down here, and I'm long here. So all the way at this, this drop here. So just seeing what happens. Even though that's on AMD. AMD is not in a higher range. Oh, ES. Sorry. ES, I waited for S6. I did try a break-even one up here earlier, and that's the reason I shouldn't have. You should in a higher range. It's S4's off the table. You gotta let it come down to S6. And the reason why here, I'll show you why. Kind of if you look back a day in the chart, this is the reason why that happens. So you can see here. Notice how we consolidated, hit this area, and then bought up, and then bought through and broke. So we had to buy that level right there. So if you move that to the side, you'll notice right where that falls in, right? So we opened and went under, but if you come down here, you don't want to buy here because that's too much into this mud here. So you want to just let it go all the way down, really come out, and then see if it sets up to the downside. You get a better move that way. And the fun part is the potential on an S6 move is significantly longer. So if this goes into a rally here, for all you know, it could close higher by the end of the day. If it's choppy, it could be all the way at R3 by the end of the day. So it could be a really nice move. What did Nvidia do?
Nvidia is not really doing much. It's
Nothing.
really flatlining. Yeah. Choppy. AMD is struggling at the 9 EMA. We got a bunch of people front running that $200 level on Apple, so it never quite got there. ARM is still getting buyers here. Like yesterday had a really strong day. Today it's another strong day. We're up near some prior highs. Apple's going to take another run at 200 here maybe.
Kind of interested in Amazon here. If the market bounces, it made a nice dip and bought back up. What's its order book look like? Someone was asking, what's this book you guys are talking about? If you're looking at my screen or Brian's screen, you'll see we have this really kind of like fun-looking hypercolor screen up. Looks like you're looking at like thermal, some kind of thermal situation.
Yeah.
So, and this is a visual representation of the order book. So we're seeing all of the limit orders that are being put out across each of these individual markets, and then we utilize that to judge supply and demand, and the what volume we have coming in, and where, and those kind of things. ES is still pushing
Nvidia
for
or
me.
Tesla, maybe. We're right back near a high day on Apple. Qs are pushing up here. SPY's gone through the VWAP.
I went ahead and put a click to trail on my ES position, so it's trailing the price up now. Make sure I get enough money to cover my comms and make a couple bucks. Nice though. I mean, the Vincent, the S4 trade wasn't a typical trade, but it was weak, and it was gonna go to S6. So I mean, you weren't wrong. I mean, it's just the question is, will it be something you can reproduce tomorrow? You know what I mean? That'll be, that's why it's kind of, you don't want to vary too much. It's kind of like what Brian said a minute ago about inventing trades. You know what I mean? It's part of why you develop a trade system isn't really about the market. It's about you, right? There's going to be hundreds of thousands of opportunities every single day. How do you pick the ones that you want? And if you don't have a well defined criteria for that, you're basically just going to be chasing the market around all the time. So, and that's really something you don't want to do. Ooh, that was interesting. Solid buyer came in there and bought the 50. We kind of pulled back to the 50 SMA there, and someone came in and bought it. DXB day trader. This is an interesting question. Since we're kind of waiting for some trades to work out, I think Brian and I could probably both take turns fielding this one. What is better, do you think? Hone in on one strategy and trade multiple tickers, or hone in on one ticker but learn multiple strategies?
I think it's if you're just starting out, I would say don't overcomplicate things. One or two strategies and one or two tickers, because you don't want to be. You're going to really get bogged down if you're trying to do too much. A lot of stuff going on. I think a lot of our traders will, who have gone through the learning process, would probably agree that everything can be a little overwhelming. So trying to keep it relatively simple at the beginning is probably the best strategy.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% there, Brian. And then one thing I'll add on top of that, which is the part that a lot of people might not enjoy as much, is focus on the things that are not the strategy. Like the strategy part of trading is kind of like eventually kind of the easy part. The hard part is the personal control, the ability to read market movement and analyze dynamic and all of these other things. You know what I mean? Understanding, how profiting works, and if you're taking profit, partialing, how that influences your positions. There's lots of little nuanced things that you can really get under the hood before you even really start trading that are very, very beneficial to understand. I actually, as a newer trader, I kind of got in and started trading very, very fast. And I actually developed a lot of my market acumen after I became a trader, which is maybe the backwards way. You know what I mean? It probably would have been better for me to take some time, read a couple extra books, and develop some of that acumen ahead of time. I mean, it worked out for me in the long run, I suppose. But I think I could have been a little bit easier on myself and maybe not blown up that first account.
Yeah.
You know, if I'd have spent a little bit more time on those kind of things.
So look at it. Look at Apple. It's really trying to push to 200 here. It's just started eating away at those shares. There we go. There's 200. There's printing. Oh, look at that rip right through 200. We just chewed through all those shares. They just wanted to eat all those shares up, and now look at it pull back. Wow. Nice, Jared. Got that 200 move.
All right. Good news is I'm over 4R on my ES long, so I am over goal as far as this goes. I'm actually at I've moved my stop to where my 4R is now. If it dips back down through and hits my 4R, I'll be out of this trade at 4R. If it continues pushing, I'm going to let this get up a little bit higher and try and squeeze just a couple more dollars out of this one, because I really like my entry on it. So, but if it comes back down, I'll get my money, and I'll be happy.
Nice. And then you'll be
Took
happy.
a minute. Took a minute, but we got here.
It's all about take the money and run, eh?
I'm all about base hits.
Yeah.
Like the money ball of stock trading. Especially on days like today when I know the market's, probably not going to be a trending market day in any one direction or another. Kind of a hard sell to start for, now it's probably going to bounce and then find a value area, get stuck for a while, maybe squeeze. It's going to be like especially with, a lot much bigger news on tomorrow. I just think it's,
right.
Today probably be the day to get a couple trades in and preserve capital. And tomorrow will probably be the day that the volatility will come in. Have a party.
Oh, GME got halted on an uptick. The apes are still playing that. Amazing.
Apple, man, look at this thing go. That was you got a VPA signal on Apple finally off of 200 at least. That was a big 2.8 million shares came in on a
there was a
5 to 10 cent handle.
There was a huge bid or ask at right at 200, like over 1 million shares. So there was a lot of volume that went through at 200. I can't believe someone would actually buy it at such a an obvious level where it would where it was being targeted. Kind of knew it was going to hit that level and pull back, right?
Yet they will. They will. You always got to think whenever you have these tickers that went to like $300, for instance, and then it's back at $50. You always think to yourself, who bought it at 300?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. So what's our buddy GME doing? It's funny. What's it look like right now? When did it halt? It halted at 10:16:42, 10:21. So it is coming up on a if they're going to do a 5-minute halt here. We've got 5 seconds to the open. Here we go.
GME?
It's open. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, look at that. It's going. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. They could get halted to the downside now.
Well, I mean, it got almost all the way to R3.
Yeah.
Gosh, scary. I had I was watching one of these online guru guys, and they were talking about how they were trading this low float. I forget the name of it. It was one of the 4-letter ones, MCLO or something like that. And the ticker opened at it opened under 75 cents. So for those of you who don't get the enjoy playing halts very often, stocks open, price determines levels of halts at. When you have a ticker that's under 75 cents, it basically halts every 15 cents. So if you go short in a ticker and it's put on short selling restriction either afterwards, or the book is just too empty because of the volume and it's a low float, you can literally just get dragged from halt to halt to halt to halt. And even throwing limits, markets, whatever you want, you're not going to get out of that position. So I watched a lot of online people just absolutely browning their pants because they were stuck short in this thing, losing hundreds of dollars. And I was just like, that's why we don't do that stuff.
That's why we stay away from that. This one's, this is a little crazy. The order book is pretty bearish, actually. But that doesn't mean, I don't think with GME, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to drop.
Karthik, no, there will still be resistance levels once it makes through an all-time high. The thing you have to understand is when it makes all-time high, someone's going to buy that, and someone bought before, right? Resistance is just selling. So, there will be new resistance levels. They just won't be physical, like, for lack of a better word, physical levels, right? They're not going to be hard levels that you're going to be able to click on your screen and get. They're going to be levels created by the order book. When you look at the order book, you'll see large volumes of asks, and those are where you're going to be targeting. Yeah, undefined levels, but they'll be there. You just gotta find them. 186.12. When Amazon was hanging out down near S3, I was talking to y'all. I liked how it bounced and got back above S3 and held. So while it was in here, I went ahead and picked up some Amazon using actually, it was like 185.84. I think it was a little bit down here. Gave me a couple of ticks below this. So we're holding pretty good. I went ahead and moved it to break even. If it comes back down, I'll just get out of it and maybe get a better price. But so far, so good. And I set a range order on this one, which is going to be for a 4-to-1 target, and it'll be up at about 87.60 is about where my 4-to-1 is. So with any luck, we can hit target before we get to high of day. SPY still moving for me. Still going in my direction, or not SPY, ES.
Yeah, we get a nice bounce going off that S4 level on the Qs. Your favorite level.
Mm-hmm. You're so happy you can afford Nvidia again. That's funny.
That's funny. We get Apple some orders rebuilding at 200 here. Yeah, if you're following us on YouTube, appreciate the like, and always can subscribe so you know when we're on. Video's kind of rolling over here. Not a lot of volume here. Look at the CVD on Apple. So much buying.
Yeah, look at that thing.
It's going back to 200. Like I said, I think it's a competition between.
Look at 205. So there's another resistance level.
Yeah.
If you will. That will be resistance at some point in time, but it's a target for now with all this buying and where we're at on this breakout. It's a target. Look, if you're looking at, there's just been no, Apple has made, this is one of those days where you don't have to second guess things. Sometimes the market just presents to you what it wants to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just lets you know. Right. So, this is that moment with Apple. Apple opened up with strong buying. It had a very bullish order book. It has maintained a bullish order book. It's followed an advancing volume profile as it's moved right up a very aggressive order book to the top side. It has a catalyst today being the AI news. Right. There's just no reason to get in this thing's way today. Just, it's a trend day for this one. Even if it does capitulate and roll, it probably will not be a very large reversal. It'll probably just come right back down to maybe even settle out somewhere near just under or just over 200. But at this point with this one and how strong it's been, I wouldn't expect a large reversal out of this one. This one's buying. This could be the beginning of multiple days worth of buying.
Yeah, it just keeps on going.
Yep. Notice when the red dots come in, which are the selling dots, notice how the price kind of moves laterally to the side. It doesn't really sell off. It just kind of moves sideways as the sellers hit. This just means the bid's perfectly happy to absorb the selling. And then we push, and whenever our bid comes in, we're pushing up into the larger order to the top side. There we go. Nom, just ate it. So tasty.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens at 201.
I think people are selling. They're selling their Nvidia to buy Apple now.
I like that meme, Jared.
Apple's the new Nvidia for the day. That's right. All right, guys, it is 7:30. We are going to flip it over to the room. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Absolutely.
It was a good day. Apple gave us it was the money ball. So thanks, guys. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and signing off. Thor.
Appreciate y'all. Keep it green, people.
Cheers.
See you tomorrow.